Alright, you guys should be able to hear me now. Let me know if everything is working okay. Sorry about that. Thank you guys for letting me know. Alright, I should be good now. Um, Again, I appreciate everybody letting me know because I genuinely would not have, had any understanding if you guys didn't let me know. So, anyway, what I was saying basically is, how's it going, everybody? Welcome back to another live stream. I hope you guys are having a fantastic day. I'm still a little bit sick, as some of you may or may not know if you've been keeping up to date with the very specific little tidbits of channel information. So, sorry about that. My voice is kind of raspy. It's kind of dead. I'm very congested. May have to leave once or twice throughout this stream to go get a tissue or something. But we've got some important business to attend to because we've actually, not anymore. We had the first Illinois tornado warning of the entire year in place for Shelbyville and Tower Hill here in central Shelby County just seconds ago. That has now been canceled by the National Weather Service, surprisingly, but we still have broad rotation associated with our line of severe thunderstorms over Shelbyville, Illinois. And, okay, so they didn't cancel the tornado warning. That's my fault. The Radar Omega was just bugging. What a start to this stream, am I right? Anyway, we do have a tornado warning still in effect for Shelbyville, Tower Hill, and Findlay in Illinois. So if you guys are included in this tornado warning polygon, you need to make sure that you are seeking shelter immediately away from windows indoors and on the lowest floor possible. You want to make sure that you're in an interior room, basically in the middle of your building, whatever building you're in, whether it's a house or a restaurant or whatever. You need to make sure you're getting that done. I know we've got a lot of people watching nearby. We've got a lot of my close personal friends and family out here in this area, so I'm going to make sure that we're covering this very closely, and we're going to be keeping you guys safe here tonight. I don't foresee this producing a tornado. I'm just going to be blunt about that as of right now, but the rotation is kind of just significant enough to the point where it's better to err on the side of caution, so they went ahead and issued that tornado warning. So if you guys do have any friends and family out here in southern and central Illinois, even northern Illinois, make sure to give them a call or text, send them this stream. It'd be incredibly helpful for both me and them. As far as I am aware, I know we have some chasers live for this event, but I want to say, and I don't want to stroke my own ego too much here, but we might be the only channel doing radar coverage as of right now. So we'll see what happens. But we are watching for this event to be pretty potent here for the rest of the night, not only for a broad rotation and potentially brief tornado threat, but also damaging wind gusts from 60 to 70 miles an hour are most certainly a possibility. Take, for example, the little weather monitor station here near Litchfield, Illinois. Just a few moments ago, this was measuring wind gusts of 57 miles an hour. It has cooled down now, obviously, the line of storms has passed by, but, it is significant out there tonight. We've got 37-mile-an-hour wind gusts being recorded at the Decatur Airport. And even out ahead of this line of storms, these areas have been windy all day. We've got 47-mile-an-hour wind gusts in Coles County, Illinois. We've got 28-mile-an-hour wind gusts in Effingham County, and so on and so forth. So we're going to make sure that we're watching this line of storms very closely. The main threat tonight is going to be damaging wind gusts and down trees and power lines. Certainly a likelihood here, at least in some portion of the state. I hope you guys are having a phenomenal evening. How's it going? Justin R. Wind Dancer Media, Mr. Twister, Camp, Jake, Southern String, Misty, Vincent, who else? I think we've done everybody. Hello, Calvin. I appreciate everybody for tuning in tonight. If you haven't already, please, please, please make sure you click those like and subscribe buttons down below as it helps push this stream out to more people. As we've got a pretty intense severe weather outbreak about to commence here, so I've been told to say something dumb by an anonymous source, but I'm not going to. So anyway, we are going to continue to watch this line of storms move off to the east-northeast over the next several minutes. Eventually, this is going to be impacting areas like Champaign, Urbana, Illinois, Tuscola, even Mattoon, Charleston, going to be in the potential range of this severe thunderstorm line here. And again, it's kind of got several little just, barely rotating embedded rotations associated with it. Take, for example, this area west of Ramsey, Illinois. We've got broad rotation in a couple of spots here, but it's not quite significant enough for them to issue a full-blown tornado warning for these. So they went ahead and just issued a severe thunderstorm warning with the tornado possible tag on it, as that kind of covers, the idea that there could be rotation associated with these thunderstorms that in time may produce a tornado, but we're not expecting anything imminent for those areas. Still best to err on the side of caution and make sure that at the very least you are getting indoors in that area and preferably away from windows. Because in QLCS lines of storms like this, it's very easy to get rain-wrapped tornadoes that spotters have no idea if they are on the ground or not. They can spin up just like that and do significant damage while they're on the ground and then lift once more, or they can stay on the ground for quite a while and do even more significant damage. We've seen that in several of our recent severe weather events. So we're to make sure that we're watching this very closely. Again, obviously this area was hit pretty hard not even a couple of weeks ago. We had a significant strong to intense EF2 tornado batter to the southeast side of Decatur, Illinois. We also had a strong tornado near Peoria, Illinois, another tornado near Kankakee. A lot of these areas impacted very hard recently, and now we're kind of watching the damage reports roll in here today from Oklahoma. We, this morning, had a significant Hold on just a second, guys. We're going to get the good mic plugged in here so that we don't have to worry about this garbage. Because things are not going well with this one, obviously. Okay. Alright, we should have much better audio quality now as well. But anyways, we watched a significant tornado event move through portions of Oklahoma this morning where a strong tornado impacted the city of Purcell, which is south of Oklahoma City, just kind of barely in what I would consider to be the far outer suburbs of the OKC area. We had a significant line of storms just plop down several significant but very brief tornadoes along a line here, anywhere, kind of from Purcell back over to Pink. Even a couple areas near Shawnee had unconfirmed reports of a tornado, but they're likely to be confirmed shortly. And again, we're kind of seeing that same thing, just slightly less intense back in Illinois now. The reason I say slightly less intense is because we don't have nearly as much instability content out here in this area. Obviously, our cold air mass has moved through these areas by now, but this morning, Oklahoma City, these areas here in central OK, were reaching temperatures in... I've got reverb on? Seriously? What am I doing, chat? This is the most viewers we've had on a stream in like 2 months. Gotta lock in. Anyway, we are going to continue to monitor damage reports coming in from this area. Again, I'm sick. I'm a mess. I don't know what's happening. But anyway, what we need to focus on as of right now is our ongoing tornado warning here for the north side of Shelbyville. At this point, again, rotation is really weakening out pretty quickly. I wouldn't be shocked if we saw them let this tornado warning go without reissuing anything. But we'll have to wait and see in time what that little broad area rotation does. They actually just updated this tornado warning here, and they're keeping it in effect, surprisingly. We don't have any confirmed reports of a tornado at this time, but again, it's best to err on the side of caution at this point. Shelbyville, we can give you the all clear for the tornado threat, but damaging wind gusts from 60 to 65 miles an hour, even upwards of 70 miles an hour, cannot be ruled out here for anywhere out ahead of this line of storms, which would be Shelbyville. But again, in terms of a tornado threat, Shelbyville, you're fine. Tower Hill, you're fine. Pana, you're fine. Even, areas near Findlay will be fine within, the next 10 minutes. So just bear with us here as we try to figure out what's going on with this storm. I was going to try and share this with some friends and family. Again, I encourage you guys to do the same. Obviously, liking, subscribing, not required, but I really would appreciate it. Another thing that is absolutely not required, and I try not to push this too much, but it would be very helpful. The voice cracks are in full swing. It would be extremely helpful if we... I'm just not going to talk. I can't compose a sentence. I'm sick. What am I doing? Alright. Calm. Let me restart. Again, the streams are not usually this messy, I promise. But, anyway. Ongoing tornado warning here for the north side of Shelbyville. again, within the next 5 to 10 minutes, we'll be able to give Finley the all clear. Shelbyville, you've already got the all clear. Tower Hill, you've already got the all clear. Vincent just raised a very good question in chat. Am I covering tomorrow? Hopefully. I'm going to be somewhat busy tomorrow. I've got a couple of things going on that I want to get done. Not related to weather, but we are watching for actually a decently significant risk for not only damaging winds, but like significant tornado threat. Now, I don't want to say that this is, a guarantee or even a likelihood that we're going to end up seeing a significant tornado tomorrow, but there is definitely a conditional risk. Now, the HRRR model has kind of calmed down a little bit from what it was originally forecasting for this event, but that isn't to say that there aren't still models showing some intense parameters here. If we look over the damn 3 kilometer, again, you guys are going to have to excuse me for the voice cracks tonight. I'm sorry. I can't do anything about it. I can't help it. But the NAM 3 kilometer model still wants a decently potent environment for the threat of a couple of tornadoes down here in, far southern Louisiana, far southern Mississippi, maybe even portions of, far southwestern Alabama. The main lacking features for this event are going to be, for one, what we call SRH. This is usually what we are looking for in a linear mode of storms to kind of carry the event, and we don't have a whole lot of that. For anybody wondering what SRH is, it stands for Storm Relative Helicity. It is basically winds going vertically, to put it simply. You got winds going up and down. That's your SRH content. That's pretty much the most ultra uber basic way there is to describe it. And we don't have a whole lot. For example, if we take a look at the 0 to 3 kilometer layer of the atmosphere here in search for SRH content, we're going to go ahead and analyze specifically southern Louisiana, as that's where the other parameters for this event overlap the greatest, such as instability, wind shear, stuff like that. But you've got decent SRH content throughout central and northern Louisiana, obviously, where your line of storms is moving through, producing significant damaging winds. But the areas where we're going to see these, potentially semi-discrete supercells, the ones that are going to have the greatest potential to produce tornadoes, are going to be working with an environment that have less than 200 SRH in the 0 to 3 kilometer region, which, for anybody that doesn't know, usually with the 0 to 3 layer, you're going to be wanting at least 300 to 400 SRH for a significant tornado threat. Now, that's not to say it's impossible to see a significant tornado with less than that, but again, it's extremely unlikely. However, a just general, spin-up tornado threat, I think is actually relatively high for tomorrow. Now, I've seen a couple of people ask, do I think this is going to go 10%? Do I think this is going to go 10 hashed? I actually don't. And it mainly comes down to SRH content, but the second thing I was going to mention is storm mode. We don't have a great storm mode for this event. Usually for a severe weather threat in Dixie Alley in January, if you don't have a whole lot of SRH content, you're really going to need a discrete storm mode, and we don't really have that. A lot of these storms are going to be jumbled up together. We've got ourselves, big-time supercells that are going to be impeding on each other's territory, which is going to limit their potential in general to produce tornadoes, damaging winds, whatever else. So we'll see what happens, but I would not be shocked if they left this with a 5% whatsoever. I also don't think it's impossible that we see a 10% upgrade for tomorrow, but I think it's a little bit more unlikely. But anyway, that is what I'm thinking for tomorrow. Again, potentially a live stream tomorrow. If it does happen, it would be in the late evening time hours, whenever the event is expected to peak. But yeah. Again, make sure to like and subscribe down below if you have not already. We do this every day for areas all across the country. Well, not every day over the past few days, because I've had a case of what I'm going to refer to as of right now the common cold, but I gotta say, last night was brutal. It felt a lot more than, something like the common cold. Anyway, though, that's besides the point. We got sicknesses going around all over the country. I'm sure a lot of you guys are unfortunately, feeling that as well. But, anyway, I appreciate you guys for tuning in. No, you don't have to delete the voice crack counter chat messages. It's kind of funny. I want to see if we can hit, like, a solid 30 tonight. It'll really depend on how long we're here for, but by the way, am I loud? Am I quiet? What's the scope here, guys? tornado warning has not been canceled. Omega's just being Omega. And, why would Omega ever work? Perfect audio. Wow. Alright, I'm gonna pause my face cam here for a second. You'll still be able to hear me, but I gotta get something done really quickly on my phone. So give me just, 45 seconds or so. Alright, I got you, Dave, in just a sec. I'm being told to watch this video that he sent me here. I'm being sniped. Just do Command R whenever Omega warnings disappear. It brings them back. I did not know that. Okay, we should be good here. I think you should be able to see the face cam. Probably getting somebody motion sick right now. Let me just confirm quickly. Alright, we're good. But yeah, that's kind of what I'm thinking for tomorrow. Anyway, again, rotation broadening out here significantly. They have reissued a severe thunderstorm warning for this line of storms, however, for Tuscola, Orcola, Humboldt, the north side of Mattoon, Sullivan, Arthur, Garrett, all these areas out here in east central Illinois. Add that to the counter. And at this point, again, we're mainly going to be watching for damaging winds out of this specific sector of the line of storms. But broad rotation could potentially develop again. Again, the further east we get here, the more unlikely it gets. Because, we're traveling northeast. We are going to be looking at less and less instability the further we go. Not only because we're traveling north, but because it's also, 8 p.m. So, anyway, again, nothing confirmed with our Shelbyville storm here. There never was. Doubt anything touchdown. As I said from the beginning, it was very broad rotation at best. But, that's what I'm thinking for right now there. We do have a flash flood warning for Chicago downtown, as well as Cicero, Bolingbrook, Romeoville, Naperville, Downers Grove, Darien, Park Ridge, Evanston, and all the other Chicago suburbs here in Cook County. We're mainly going to be watching out for this flash flooding threat over the next couple of hours. We've just had consistent, moderate rainfall throughout the day, and now we've got this heavy line of storms moving through. It definitely adds up over time, no doubt about that. We've already received several inches of rain in some of these areas here in the western Chicago suburbs in particular. And as this line moves through the downtown area, those numbers could rise there as well. So, again, brief flash flooding threat. Nothing too significant, though. Yeah, the Lincoln radar has done some interesting stuff. For anybody, not familiar with radar, this may not mean a whole lot to you, but this is what we were using to forecast earlier. So, it's, that's what it is. That would be impossible, that's what that would be. Just a quick update here. We do actually have reported power outages now in several counties in central Illinois. We've got 1,400 in Montgomery County without power, over 500 in Christian County without power, and 152 customers in Moultrie County currently reporting power loss. And those numbers were updated even before the line of storms began to move through downtown Sullivan. So, again, pretty significant line of storms here, likely downing power lines and trees. Yeah, we still do have a tornado warning technically for Findlay, but at this point we're going to give Findlay the all clear. Rotation is passed. Again, stay indoors just to play it safe, especially since we still got those damaging wind gusts. But the problem with this specific sector of central Illinois is we don't have any airports out here, so we can't exactly grab wind gust estimations. The closest thing we've got is the southwest side of Champaign at the Willard Airport. We've got wind gusts measured at 47 miles an hour before the line of storms even moves through. Hello, I do kind of sound like Moist Critical right now. Again, I'm sick, chat. I'm sorry. It's been a grind the past several days with school starting back up and having this and you know, but again at this point we're really just watching that one broad area rotation. I really do appreciate all you guys for tuning in though tonight. Again, I need to move my face up. You guys can't see my ugly appearance there. Um, but again, I know we're streaming in the bed again, and that's because I've got stuff all over my desk. And by stuff, I mean Pokemon cards and a water bottle that I don't really want to move because I don't know where I'm going to put them. So here we are again. That is one of the advantages, though, of having a MacBook rather than a Mac, is that we can do things like that. But yeah. Again, the Lincoln Raider's been struggling. Seek medical help per Grok. Grok has been wilding lately on X/Twitter. If you guys don't know, add that to the voice crack count, by the way. But again, at this point, there's no imminent tornado threat for anybody wondering. Now, it doesn't mean there won't be another one down the line here. And actually, I do think this area of rotation will spin back up a little bit once more. But again, I really do appreciate all you guys for tuning in. I've been trying not to run as many ads while streaming recently. That's 11. Because I don't want to get in a situation like this where we've got something imminent going on, and you have to watch two unskippable 30-second ads every 10 minutes. But I probably am going to turn on ads on this stream after everything is over. So again, at this point, instability minimal at best. The fact that we saw a tornado warning out here tonight is more than I was expecting at all. So, was it two more or one more? I'll let you guys be the verdict on that. But, yeah. I don't know what's happening here. This is not our cape. This is wind shear. I got a little confused for a second. But anyway. Again, instability values not even surpassing 500 in a lot of these areas. So that should give you a scope as to what we're dealing with here. Again, usually for severe weather threat, you're going to be looking at least 1,000 instability. Again, Omega's doing Omega things. Hold up, chat. I'm gonna blow my nose, and I'm imagining you guys don't want to see that, so I'm gonna pause the camera here for a second. Tornado warning has been allowed to expire. Actually, looks like it's been canceled, which is interesting. I'm sorry, that was really disgusting. Again, I'm sick, chat. I just now realized this didn't have audio on, did it? Okay. I I don't know why I don't know why that's there. But it is, so cool. Hello there. You know, you need any help? No. There's your Simon appearance of the month. Anyway, in the yoga area, probably just some rain showers, honestly, if we can't get this line of storms to come back further south, which it looks like it's not going to. I mean, at worst, maybe you see a couple strikes of lightning, but for the most part, just gonna be some showers. Davis Earl Jones. That might be the best one yet. Again, if you're just now tuning in, feel free to like and subscribe. It helps me out a lot. It also helps push this stream out to more people. Again, I'm kind of sick right now. I'm on the recovery, though, so that's good. We hit 30 likes in 28 minutes. When is the last... Guys, you are insane. Thank you guys so much for all the support. It's hilarious, too, because streaming for half an hour used to feel like, you know, half an hour, sometimes even longer, but now streaming for half an hour feels like it's been about 10, 15 minutes. Yeah, we did have a wind gust report of 88 miles an hour. That's not the right one. Is it not on Omega Reports? Well, that's a truthful statement by Misty there. We did have a wind gust report of 88 miles an hour from our line of storms in the southern plains this morning. Bro really wanted to feel important. He had to delete that message. How's it going, Mr. Tinks? Yeah, I've never seen Lincoln spaz out this many times in an hour, but man, it is not good. And it's been all day. It hasn't just been this hour, but that's when it's been the most consistent. I was really worried it was going to look like that for the entire event this evening, and I was going to have to explain to everybody, this, hey, this isn't really what's happening. But no. Alright, power outage update. Add that to the counter. Still over 500 in Christian County without power. Now up to 154 in Moultrie County without power, and 1,400 in Montgomery County without power. At this point, when we have the one severe warning, and there we go, it's back. We jinxed it. Okay. Well, just to avoid worry, we're gonna switch to the Evansville radar. I don't know why it's doing that. But I, again, am at this point not too concerned for the rest of the night here. I think that was one, maybe? Um, And at this point, it looks like pretty consistently 45 to 50 mile an hour wind gusts being recorded. Perhaps slightly beyond that in our severe warning, but again, we don't have any airports, so no way to check there. This is like the dead zone of airports in central Illinois here. We've got airports all around. I mean, literally, we've got Mattoon, Charleston, Effingham, Decatur, Champaign-Urbana, and Paris, and we are right in between, and we have been the whole time with this storm. So, again, I'm sorry, I know I sound like I'm dying. For anybody just now tuning in, I don't usually sound like I'm dying. And that was another one. So feel free to like and subscribe if you like. That was another one. If you enjoy this kind of stuff, and you don't like the sound of people dying, what am I saying? For anybody concerned, I'm not really watching this line of storms in southern Illinois too closely. Was it two more or one more? We may actually hit 30. I was over exaggerating when I said that, but it's possible. Anyway, in all seriousness, I'm not too concerned about this line of storms in southern Illinois, other than for just a heavy rain threat. The instability has been wiped out of these regions today, even though it is, decent moisture content out here with the high temperature. At least for this time of year, we don't have a lot of cape because these areas have been seeing rain all day long. So why is HRRR doing that? I think that might have been another one, chat. Sam likes the sound of people dying. Okay. And again, I'm not too worried. I'm not too worried about the line of storms behind this one either. Because, yeah, again, instability has been taken on all these areas, but at this point, I don't know why I can't load HRRR here. I think Omega is just doing Omega things tonight. Oh, Commandor, that's right. Well, it just reloads the app, and that's what I just did, so I'm gonna say that's probably not gonna work. I appreciate the suggestion, though. Alright, I was wrong. I really appreciate the suggestion now. Anyway. Again, 0Z, HRRR, and even the 18Z, but really the 0Z does not like our event tomorrow too much. And again, it mainly comes in, a lack of SRH content. Sorry, that was also disgusting. Might have the most nasally voice of all time right now. And we are back to, or I guess we never left extreme DBZ on reflectivity. I thought we did. We hit 50 likes tonight, chat. We are at the big 35. 15 more to go. If you haven't already, I would also appreciate a subscription to the channel, but completely optional, of course. But, I mean, this is the most we've had watching in quite a long time, so I really do appreciate the support tonight, guys. Again, I'm sick. It's unfortunate that this much viewership had to come on a night like tonight. But, what can you do? Lose the voiceover? Okay. New velocity scan kind of gave us an uptick in a couple of these little more broad sections of rotation down here to the south. So, I mean, another voice crack. We might not be totally done with these yet. Got 41 people watching. It's wild. Again, I appreciate it, guys. My face isn't even fully in the camera still. Hey, Central Illinois EAS with the moderate risker for 2 months. W's in the chat. Yeah, we did just redo our membership program. That's another voice crack. You can now become a member for as little as $1.99 a month, which I think is probably the lowest that we're ever gonna go with that. So, if you haven't already, feel free to become a member. But W's in the chat for Central Illinois EAS. The GOAT. Ten more, it's possible, bro. It is. Yeah, I checked my membership prices after we talked about that. That's another one, by the way. And they didn't actually change, so it was just Apple being goofy. I just ripped. I don't know if I could be too much more gross tonight, I'm not gonna lie, shit. Again, at this point, the main area of circulation that we're going to be watching is the one south of Shelbyville, actually. Still very broad, though. And very weak. Again, some showers from the south impeding on the Effingham territory now. Really just going to be some beneficial rainfall. Nothing too serious. Check Newport, Arkansas. What am I supposed to be looking at here? It's a very broad rotation, perhaps, north of Weldon. Alright, this is the perfect night to do that. You're right, Airborne. No, Luke. I am your father. I don't... Did I... Maybe I'm getting this incorrect. But I think that's like a Mandela effect situation where he never actually said that. I would love to play the clip, but I can almost guarantee that's going to get me copyrighted and probably copyright struck because that is a movie. So, no spam. People really just want a reason to delete messages tonight. Um, we are now up to 207 in Moultrie County without power. By the way, whenever I say those numbers, that seems, a little bit low. You gotta remember that those are individual properties that have outages. So suppose the average home out here has 3 people living in it. It's actually 621 people without power, not 207. And back over here in Montgomery County, that's actually 4,500, not 1,400. So, just a quick reminder there. Wind's calming down now at the Champaign-Urbana Airport as the line of storms is now just about fully passed through. Not quite, just about though. Still going to be sticking with about 35 to 40 mile an hour wind gusts in a lot of these areas. So, I mean, there's not a lot that goes down with 35 mile an hour wind gusts, but perhaps some leaves getting blown off of trees, if you were concerned about that. I mean, it's January though, so. I think. Okay, never mind, we're good. Yeah, my chat wasn't updating. PA's in Mississippi now. Yep. Yeah, they are on the Dixie event for tomorrow. We do have a report of wind damage now. A tree down across North Idler Lane and Iron Gate Tail intersection, just outside of Greenville, Illinois. So, looks like we've got some significant wind damage there near Greenville. And that's along I-70 just off to the northeast of the St. Louis suburbs. Yeah, I have been considering that. Because I have had it always listed as members only live streams, but I've never actually done one. And I feel kind of scummy for advertising that and not doing it, so we're going to change that. But I'm not exactly sure what I want to do yet, other than just like a chill Q&A chat kind of thing. Oh, bingo stream. We are going to. I'm so nasally. We're going to discuss whether or not we got a bingo for 2025, and we're also going to create the bingo 2026 card on January, probably, I want to say 15th. That seems reasonable. I would say the 16th, but that's also the date of Don't Be Dumb's release, so I'm probably not going to stream that day. I don't know, maybe it'll be sooner than that, add that to the voice crack counter. But so again, severe thunderstorm warning remains in effect for Tuscola, Arcola, and Humboldt in east central Illinois. Hold up, shit. I'm gonna mute and get rid of my face cam again for a sec, because I'm gonna blow my nose. I don't want to be disgusting. Alright, I don't know if you guys... Can you still hear that? I think you can. Let's turn this off. My fault. Sorry. We just lost all of our viewers. Update title. Alright. Good call. At this point, we're kind of just waiting to see if they're going to reissue the severe warning or not. And if not, we can probably call it quits here for tonight. I appreciate all the support. This has been a great live stream in terms of engagement. We're coming back, chat, from the lull that we've been in. And again, I feel so negative when I say things like that, but it's true. I'm not gonna die. I mean, I think it's been pretty clear if you guys have been watching the channel for a while, we've been in quite the lull. And again, I've kind of done a video talking about why that is. And I've also discussed on multiple other occasions, so I'm not gonna get into that right now, but we're bringing it back for real this time. Honestly, see, I don't want to keep the title because I don't want to clickbait, but I'm gonna end stream in like 5 minutes most likely, so I don't. Alright, let's change it here. No problem, Sonja. And just for a reminder, I know the slight risk membership option now doesn't mention access to exclusive members only videos. All levels of members will have access to the currently posted members only videos. The new ones are going to be exclusive to moderate risk and above, but everybody gets access to the old ones in terms of members. Also, for anybody wondering, if you are a member now, it's going to kick you off of there by the time your membership expires. So if you wanted to redo that, make sure to do that. Because we got a whole new system. Actually, now it gives moderate risk. I don't know why. Maybe because it's the one closest to $5. That's my speculation. I really don't know, though. I thought that was kind of weird. I figured it would default to slight risk since it's the cheapest, but nope. Look at the VIL. What's that? Is something I'm supposed to know what it is. In Lincoln. Oh, vertically integrated liquid. Yeah, that is about the most dense VIL signature you will ever see. Vertically integrated liquors. Anyway, again, at this point, I don't see them reissuing the severe warning. Um, maybe an SWS, maybe, if they're feeling generous. So in general, I would just say Danville, Covington, Rossville, Attica, along the Illinois-Indiana state line. You guys are next, so be ready, just in case. So funny. It was a good one. I was wondering if anybody was going to catch that. That's insane. We literally had the Whitman incident less than 2 years ago. $3 minutes. And that'll determine the fate of this stream as to whether or not we're ending. Unless we get a new severe warning, which I don't see happening. I don't see where else they'd add one. Yeah, that's because if a tornado was on April 27th, then you're not allowed to think it was intense. It's just like the new rule. Everybody thinks they're cool and edgy whenever they say, yeah, man, I think Rainsville was an EF2. You know what? I think it's an EF1. So ridiculous. And they have no reason to believe that. I don't understand why that started. Because at worst, Rainsville is like EF4 185. By the way, Radar's back. I don't understand. Like, why is that the new meta? I don't get it. And Philadelphia, too. And then the other big one that they like to do is Xenia, even though that wasn't April 27th. Those are the three that they like to say you can't say we're strong. And Marion now. The lower you think Marion was, the cooler you are. Yeah, and then, Lake City was the strongest tornado of all time, and Plevno was, 250 plus. Plevno is so glazed. I'm sorry. And people will call out Lake City glaze, but for some reason they don't call it Plevno glaze. Like, genuinely, what reason do we have to believe that Plevno was some, like, extraordinarily, like, beyond violent monster? Like, yes, it was a very intense tornado, and it's a tragedy what happened. and I don't want to undersell that, but I also don't want to oversell it. That was not like a top 10 tornado. I don't even think it was top 10 strongest of 2025. I really don't. They let the sphere warning go, by the way. So I think this is where our coverage ends. Yeah, I mean, yeah, it obviously deserved Tori, but like that, it just bothers me. When it was on the ground, so easily. When it was on the ground, I can understand people thinking that it was like 180, 190 plus, but and it might have been 180, 190 plus, but I meant to say I could see people thinking it was like 220, 230. But now that we have damage, genuinely give me one reason that I should believe that the Plevna tornado had a wind gust anywhere beyond 200 miles an hour. Give me one reason. 24. We were 6 away. That was a good estimate, though, right? It was more of a joke, but, you know. I think that's it for tonight because I can't talk any longer. I really do appreciate, though, all of the weather at a glance. That is the real weather at a glance. Wow. Thank you for tuning in. If you don't know, Weather at a Glance makes some very high tier forecast videos. I've been a fan for a long time. Again, I'm so nasally. I need to end stream. I appreciate you tuning in though. Anyway, you know what? Let's let the stream hit an hour. Let's go 2 more minutes. I think we can do that. 1 more minute rather. But yeah. Um. So.
Hey, you left the garage door open.
No.
Like the kitchen door to the garage.
Oh.
Did you go out there for some reason?
Not while I was with him. Good night. um. Anyway, well, I appreciate that. Yeah, I got the garage door next time. I don't think they realized I was live.
Do I need to do tooth fairy?
Yes.
Okay, so it's on like nearest pillow.
Well, no.
Where is it?
I don't know. He didn't say anything about it.
But you know it's in there?
I'm extremely sorry to all the Tooth Fairy believers that are in the chat. He's not real, though. Or she's not real. I'm sorry. I am terribly sorry. What are you even saying, bro? I'm sorry, gang. The Tooth Fairy's not. I didn't mean to reveal it, but that's just, that's how it goes. Yeah, I think that's the first time we had a crypto scammer come in the chat. That's a new one. Champaign Willard Airport recording 52-mile-an-hour wind gusts once again. The tremendous 26. Anyway, I think that's gonna be it for tonight, chat. I appreciate you guys for tuning in. Much love. Thanks for all the high engagement. Really appreciate that. We're coming back. We're bringing it back. I feel bad ending the stream. Only have 24 people watching, but I got nothing else to say. So stay safe out there. We'll be back tomorrow evening. Love you guys. Peace out.